Hello, everybody. I still don't know how to do a proper intro for this, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the support in the last episode of the Gold Split podcast. I really appreciate it. This week, I got a new episode with The Harsh. Some of you may know him from speedrunning Scooby and watching my streams, and I'll leave links to him in the description and where you can find him. I'd also appreciate it if you subscribe and comment. I would love to see who you guys would want on the podcast. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy. 2, 1. All right, here we go. The second episode of the Gold Split podcast. And today I am with a very special guest and a very good friend of mine, Harsh. Woo!
Hey,
So if you
what's
don't
up,
know,
YouTube?
yeah, what's up, YouTube? If you don't know Harsh, he does a lot of. I just know him from a lot of the Scooby stuff he does, but he does a lot of other stuff too, and we're gonna talk about it right now because that's the point of this podcast. And if you enjoy it, like and subscribe. And as always, we'll put more plugs and stuff for Harsh at the end.
Smash that like
So
button.
be the classic 2015-16 YouTuber.
Coley, you just cut out. You
Did I
swear to God,
really?
you like froze up for like five
No.
seconds.
Why?
Uh,
Thank God I'm not live streaming this. I've thought about live streaming this podcast sometimes,
uh-huh.
but then I think about how bad my internet is, and then it makes me not want to do it. So,
And then once you're done to your college internet, it'll just get even more
yeah,
crappy.
I don't know. College internet for me has always been either really good or really bad. There's never
Mhm.
like a decency to it.
Oh, I tried
But
streaming with my Dazzle back in the day in like my college Wi-Fi, and it was just literally a slideshow every single stream. I
uh,
I like. I mean, my voice and stuff was beautiful and great, but my visuals were just.
yeah. How long have you been like streaming and I guess doing YouTube stuff before? I know with YouTube, you've done it for a while.
Oh yeah, I started back in like '08, I guess. If we're going to like YouTube, that was kind of
Wow.
when like Let's Plays and stuff were relatively new, and like they weren't as like overblown as they are today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like inspired basically because like let's see, Pokemon Diamond Pearl was like the new game that was like out of the time. And I was like looking up videos of somebody like of people playing it, and I came across like a couple different YouTubers, and I don't know, I like watched them. I heard them. I was like, wow, these people are just talking over like a video game and spitting out bullcrap. I can do that. It
Yeah.
sounds easy. But I didn't actually, have a microphone my first time doing YouTube, so I just, just did the good old like hypercam recording videos with live
Yeah.
music. I mean,
That's
hey, at the
crazy.
time it worked out because like, it was Pokemon, so people liked Pokemon.
Mhm.
um,
Wait, how old were
and,
you when you started then?
like 12, I think,
Wow.
12,
That's kind
13.
of crazy though. That's cool.
Uh-huh.
You started it from
Yeah.
that early on.
I mean, before that, I literally just had a channel where I just uploaded my favorite songs, and yeah, DMCA. Let's just say that channel got suspended because I didn't understand like copyright when I was 11. So
That's hilarious. But I guess that's a good way to kind of store your songs. I never thought about doing that, or at least when I was younger, but
yeah, because initially, I wanted to make a YouTube channel specifically just to have a playlist. Because like I was like, okay,
okay.
cool. Playlist, I can organize videos, and then let's just upload a bunch of Linkin Park songs because that was the hip music in middle school.
Oh my gosh. So, when did you start like speedrunning then?
Speedrunning, probably like let's see, like honestly, like I didn't. Okay, I was watching speedruns from like early 2013 and stuff, but I didn't actually like do speedruns until like 2018. So like Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights was my first speed game.
Oh, really? 100 Frights was your first speed game?
Yeah, the first
Okay.
one I actually like did. There were like a couple other games, I tried and stuff before, but I didn't really progress with. Like the one I wanted to
Yeah.
do was Super Mario Sunshine because, like, I love that game as a kid. Like I played it a lot. I 100% did like 5 times. And then when I tried to learn like the speed run, I couldn't do this one skip in. Do you know the Gelato Beach level?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's a skip in that where you can just like from the first episode, you can just get literally the eighth shine, the watermelon shine, by clipping through like the glass. And I was
Mhm.
trying to do that with like Yoshi, but then I found out he's exclusive glitch, and
Oh
I
yeah.
couldn't do that. And then like somebody found like a more consistent method with like US where you have to like drop a coconut on top of this hut and then like roll down with Mario and clip through this thing.
I think
But
I've seen speedrunners do that one
yeah,
specifically.
but yeah,
But
that thing that trick was hard. Like I got it like one time, like after I'd say 2 weeks of like trying for like a minimum like 30 minutes a day, and
wow.
at that point I was like, maybe I don't want to speed run this. But it wasn't just that trick. It was just like Sunshine just hurts your hands. Like you have to constantly move. There's like no breaks. You have to YOLO so many of these like those like floodless levels.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, maybe this is a little too intense for me. I'm just gonna stick to watching people.
I mean, yeah. It's especially like the flood like the floodless levels. Like I just get a hand cramp sometimes just like watching those people just flipping around, and like I'm so glad I don't have a speed game that I do where it's that even though I've only speed ran like a few games, but like
Mhm.
those games are really intense. Just
Oh my
I
god.
I
Yeah.
I still think Scooby's probably, especially now, just one of the easiest speed games to get into. Like just with all the tutorials and stuff that we have now, and like
Oh
just
yeah.
with emulator being uncapped now, like anybody could run it.
Oh yeah. Resources are definitely there. MU ban being lifted. Like, yeah, it's pretty easy to get into as long as you're not doing the world record stress now.
Oh my god.
Uh, I wish I could like a year ago you could say you could just copy world record does, but now it's not really the case.
It's
Uh,
optimizing, it's growing.
oh, yeah. I guess to kind of continue for the Sunshine thing, yes, after I realized I suck at Mario Sunshine, I was like looking at other games in my childhood. So I looked at like the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom game, and then like I think I probably ran across Shift Stream or some big streamer. It was probably Shift, but
Probably he's like
I
the
looked
big
at
guy
it.
like
I'm
that.
like, what is this? What is this speed boost trick he's doing with the curse boost level? Why is he like double speeding everything? How is he doing this to Squidward's dream? How is he YOLOing everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, that looks a little too hard. I didn't even make an effort to try BFBB at that time. And that was
Just
also
fair.
before like the infinite shiny object glitch was found. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, and I was like, hey, let's check out Scooby Doo. Okay, so I looked at Scooby Doo. I was watching a couple speedrunners like Farinator, Admiral, and probably some other like people that were streaming at the time. Like I don't remember all of them, maybe Summer, but I was watching their streams and stuff. I was like, oh, this looks cool. It doesn't look overly intense. It doesn't require me to, pay too much attention to, do it. So I was like, hey, let's try this out. Like, so then I sat for like a month and a half watching Farah's tutorial. So I initially started off with 100% because I liked playing the whole game because like I looked at 80%, I was like, oh, that's under 30 minutes. That's lame. I want to play more of the game. The collecting all the snacks for some reason. I hunted Frights a lot as a kid, so I actually was like, okay, I want to do 100%. Let's just say it took me a month and a half to like learn everything because I was bad at speedrunning at that time.
Oh my god, yeah, I can't even
Yeah.
imagine. That's a big thing that I wanted to kind of like talk to you about, was sort of just like I knew like going in that like I thought any percent was just hard to kind of
Mhm.
like get used to. And then you started with Hundo, and like I don't think we've ever really talked about like you starting off with hundo to where you are now, like that progression has to be kind of crazy, just starting off with such a long category still, and at the time even longer.
Oh god, yeah. Like, I mean, I specifically started Hundo because I couldn't figure out how to do GGS because I knew that was a thing.
That's right. Yeah, those are like
So,
old
yeah.
days.
So I was like, rather than doing this easy route where I don't have to do GGS and it's shorter, let's do a long category where I don't have to do
Makes
GGS.
sense. Mm.
I don't know, but I just liked playing like all the levels, like the manor levels, the ship levels, and so on. So I was like, hey, why not? Let's try it. And yeah, I was already on the Discord for like a couple months, I think, at that time. I didn't really talk. I just kind of was like, hey, I'm speedrunning. A couple people replied, and then I disappeared for a couple months, and then I put in effort to actually learn the speedrun. And yeah, and my first run, I don't even remember what it was, like a 3.5 hour run. It's probably on my speedrun page still.
I could look if you want. I got everything pulled up right
Go
here.
for it. Uh,
Let me see. Your first hundo run was 3 hours and 16 minutes.
okay, yeah.
So
I think that was actually like a 304, but then it was like a 99% run because they make you watch the credits and to verify and whatnot.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, where is this other stack I'm missing? Oh, there it is. And at that time, I was like, I had no idea how to use live split. I had no idea like how to end timer. I was like, well, they'll figure it out, right? They bought the
Yeah.
game. And yeah, and I don't know. Like I did like another hundo run. I got like a 304 or something, and then I think I was like racing with somebody for this. I think it was Ryan actually.
Oh,
Ryan for the
really?
yeah. That was
That's
like my
cool.
first time talking to him, so it was like really really awkward. uh, and I was like, "Hey, anyone want to race hundo?" Because I saw there's a racing channel, and then Ryan's like, "Yeah, let's do it, whenever." And then we raced, and he soft locked, I think, somewhere, and
Oh
then I soft
no.
locked in the same place, so we didn't actually
That's
finish that
funny.
race. And
Oh my
yeah,
god.
I think it was the attic room where we soft locked, where we both got stuck.
Oh, and Attic
Yeah,
2.
yeah. Oh no, I got soft locked there. Ryan had some snacks disappear or something. I can't remember
That
exactly.
is this that game's Fright sucks. Oh my god.
Frights is a great game. I don't know. It was like the Crypt One cutscene thing. For some reason, like 8 snacks of his despawned, and he couldn't finish. He's like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'll just play Minecraft or whatever while you finish your run." Uh,
The popular game back then.
okay, and then after that call, basically it happens like, man, you should probably just learn 90%. You'll probably get more people to actually race with you if you do that. I was like, you have a good point, sir. And I did talk to him for another like year and a half because he kind of just disappeared.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought it was just because things didn't get along too well.
No, I mean, honestly, I thought he didn't like me at that time. I don't know, maybe he said something, but I don't know.
I don't know. Old Ryan is
Yeah.
an enigma. I mean, I like how when just looking at you starting off, you did 100%, which is the longest category, and then you did cheap percent, which is the shortest category.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did. I did
So
that.
you did the longest and the shortest starting off, and then you finally did 100% later.
Oh yeah.
That is hilarious. What made you think did you G%, if you remember?
I think I was like, hey, I want something shorter to run, but not 80%.
Oh my god.
I don't think there was really much thought into it. I was like, yeah, I just feel like doing this. It's like 10 minutes long. Let's try it out.
Yeah. Just a
And
short
this
little
was
thing.
before we had that nice, easy shark skip. Instead, we had to do
Oh
the
yeah.
awful like soap bubble clip through the
Yeah.
door.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. I'm so glad I
Yeah.
joined when that was obsoleted.
Yeah.
Oh
I think
man.
the best time I ever got with the bubble clip was like 10 of 7 or something like that. It's probably on my profile, but yeah, cheat percent was an awful category at that time. Nobody wanted to do that trick.
So then when did you finally do any percent?
Afterward, I think I did. I was trying to. I wanted to just jump into GGS because I was like, well, there's no point doing this no GGS thing if it's slower. I
Yeah.
got the entire route up to GGS route, and then I couldn't figure out GGS. And someone who told me it probably was Baz or someone who's like, yeah, just do no GGS. It's whatever. You'll figure it out eventually. And I did no GGS, and I got 50 minutes and something,
Oh,
whatever the
look.
time was.
Your
Yeah.
first GGS run. Oh yeah, by the way, for those, if for whatever reason, I don't know who's watching this video, but if you don't know what GGS is and you don't know what we're talking about, GGS stands for Gringo Skip, and it basically skips chronologically the second boss, the Green Ghost. And it was a really hard trick to do at the time, and now it's a significantly easier depending on the version you play.
Yeah. More or less. Like,
Actually, wait, okay. When did you find, because you are, I would say you yeah, I would say you're responsible for how GGS is so much easier today. Because Mortal just took what you did, but just
to
used
be
an analog
honest, I
stick.
kind of don't remember. I was just trying to figure out like how to do GGS in like different ways because I was watching Ferris tutorial and do 3-jump GGS, and I was trying to replicate that, and I couldn't really figure it out. So then like I just randomly tried one day, hey, let's try doing the 2-jump from like the left ledge, and it worked for me. I wasn't very consistent at the time because I still didn't understand the whole delaying your jump thing, like
Mhm.
jumping to muscle memory. I still struggle with GGS, but it's just a method that just I don't know. Like I just randomly tried and then I was like, okay, this works. Let's try it. I was getting it more often than the other method, the 3-jump method, so I just
Mhm.
kind of stuck with it. Um,
Optimizing the speed run.
I did it. I think I did it even in my old runs. Like I remember doing like a different way from everyone else, and everyone was telling me my method is bad. Do the other way.
I want to see if you did it in your first GGS run here or not.
Yeah, it was my first like no GGS run. It was like a 52. I don't even think it was up. I don't even think I submitted it. The one that's actually on the board is like a 41 or something. But then like the GGS first GGS run was like
Okay.
38.
Oh what?
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. You did 3-jump,
Did I?
or no?
Okay.
You didn't. Wait.
I
Oh, you
didn't.
did 2-jump. Look at that. Or at least the one on SRC, you did 2-jump. But
Oh yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I just found it easy, and I was like still struggling with it because I was bad at GGS. But yeah, more or less, I just kept going. I got like a 38, then I just jumped to a 33 for the GGS. I took a break for a bit. I came back and grinded down to like a 30, 32, 31. Eventually, that the sub 30, which was like the 29 PB.
Okay.
Yeah. After that, I think I just kind of like I was still part of the community, but I was just like taking a break from speedrunning and because I was like moving out at the time. I was going to Florida and I was getting job training there. And then I had moved to like uh, and I had to move to like my another state. It was a wild it was a wild
Wild
year. We'll
ride.
say. Yeah, but I was still like talking to the community. I was still talking with Baz and Sam and like well, these are like people I was like starting to get to know at the time.
Mhm.
Is well, Sam was new, Baz was around, but he wasn't really doing runs. Like nobody was really doing runs as much, well, except for Jaxler. Like when I started out, uh, it
Okay.
was
So
like
this is
you
like
know,
kind of 2019 sort of time
yeah,
now. Okay.
yeah, more or less. Like Admiral was doing like runs, like he was doing like regular streams, but I think eventually all the Scooby streams kind of burned him out, and he just kind of disappeared. um, yeah, I mean, I mostly just kind of like VC'd with people, like went to like people's streams, and I like enjoyed it. I got to know them. I actually got to meet one of the people from the Scooby community IRL because he
Oh,
just
yeah.
yeah
Wasn't didn't you say it was, I think, Holy?
yeah it was
Yeah.
Holy. Yeah, because at the time I was living with my parents, and I found out he was literally 15 minutes away from like my house at his school he was going to.
That's super cool.
Like we only found that out because we were in like a call together. um, it was also the same day I found out Sam and I have the same birthday. It
I
was a
didn't
lot.
even
It
know
was
you
like,
guys had the same birthday.
yeah, October 16th. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let's say there's a lot of revelations that day, and then that was like my first time actually meeting like an internet person IRL. It was very weird, but yeah, I invited him to my house. We hung out. I don't know, like it was a pretty normal day. We just mostly played games. We went around like his campus. And yeah, I don't know. We just kept talking on Discord from them because he was kind of more into RuneScape, so like that's all he would do like all the time,
Oh
half the
yeah,
time. So like,
he's still into RuneScape.
yeah, him and Farah, like I think Farah, Summer, like all three of them, like literally play grind RuneScape hard, and Ryan, I think too.
Oh my god,
I was
that's
like,
all
I
they
can't
talk
really
about.
relate to this.
Yeah, they got the RuneScape memers or whatever role. They
Yeah,
just
and
get
there was
into
also
it.
like they also had their own like Discord where they like played like Gmod and like a couple other multiplayer games together. Like
Yeah,
they did like Animal Crossing at one point too. I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm not really into Animal Crossing, but I
dude, I fucking love Animal Crossing. It's so much fun. I wanna go into because the Scooby Discord has multiplayer game channel. I want to
yeah,
type like anybody play New Horizons. Like
go for
I
it.
want to
I
do some
mean,
trading.
I'm sure some
I gotta do it. I
yeah
don't even
do
know
it.
where my Switch is.
There's probably so many
I
people
don't
that
know.
play that game, like especially now, especially during the COVID season when it just came out at the right time.
Oh my god. There was a whole conspiracy theory in my high school friend group that Nintendo started COVID so they could sell Animal Crossing.
Oh my god.
It was really funny. I don't remember the whole chart and stuff that we made, but I don't know, we were bored and
Oh
stuff like
god,
that.
yeah.
But
Another thing, what games are popular when I was in high school? Probably Mario Kart Wii, because I was like newish and stuff. I was like 2 or 3 years old actually at that time. It was like 2010, 20, it was like 2014 when I graduated. So like whatever games from
oh my
2014.
god, that's crazy. You graduated high school in 2014.
Yeah.
I always forget we have that kind of age difference, but
Oh
I
yeah.
think that's kind of cool. For those of you who didn't know, Harsh was the first person I talked to when I started speedrunning Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. And I think we've talked about it before. I thought I was awkward as hell, but I've never talked to anybody over the internet before. So, I
Yeah.
was just like,
I guess at that point I was kind of already used to talking to randos on the internet because like I try to always make myself like approachable like whenever I'm talking to
yeah,
someone.
and I would say you were pretty approachable back then.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also weird because I watched your tutorial, and normally if I hear somebody on YouTube, I don't hear them talking to me. And so then when I like heard you talking to me, I was like, this is very surreal and weird because I'm not
Oh
used to like hearing people on YouTube like,
yeah, I do
you
remember
know,
your comment like on my video saying that. Oh hey, this was a really good video. I was really helpful.
and it
I'm gonna learn
was.
many things. Yeah,
It was really helpful.
and then like I think when you contacted me, I had no idea who you were because I didn't make that connection. I was like, oh, you're the rando person from YouTube.
Yeah, I'm the the random weird guy. But and then
Yeah.
that's yeah, and that was like that was a little over a year ago now, which is kind of crazy. I've known you for a year, but
Wild.
that's kind of crazy. But and then back to sort of I guess your timeline of speedrunning. So we kind of ended off with you on 2019. The community was kind of like in a dry patch for a while, and then
Yeah.
2020 hit, and it explodes like crazy. A
Oh
lot
yeah.
of new people join, optimizations all the time. But
Oh yeah.
here, I remember you kind of were laying back a little bit. Like you really didn't start like grinding and doing other stuff until a few months ago with like the whole PAL console Void Warp stuff
Yeah.
too.
So we're kind
But
of jumping to today, or are we still like?
I guess. I mean,
Uh,
I just most recently like I mean, you've gotten second in every category except RBO because it's RBO, and then all monster tokens because of
impossible.
uh yeah. um so
I mean,
like
technically speaking, I do have second place on the filtered board, but
yeah, well yeah. If
yeah,
you just
I
ignore
was
the
like,
any
okay.
tab like whatever, just
Mm,
it's not that lag clip. It's not,
uh,
it's not important, but
oh god, yeah, I'm so glad that trick was banned because like I was never gonna run AMT otherwise. Uh,
yeah, a lot of
but
people are picking up that.
that's a different story. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what came over me. Like, Mortal found the new like Void Warp, more or less, and then I'm like, wow, this is a cool trick. I mean, before that, you guys are grinding creepy early. I was like, let's learn this. I have Xbox version. Let's try it out, and I struggled a lot. And then Mortal found Void Warp, and I was like, let's do this instead. This is
Yeah,
fun.
this is way
This is
better.
GameCube. I like GameCube.
Yeah, I like GameCube too, a lot more than Xbox. Oh
Mhm.
my goodness, but
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not really the D-pad stuff or like the creepy early stuff. It's just mostly I have nostalgia for GameCube version. That's the version I played growing up. That's the childhood copy I have. I want to
mhm,
play version I grew up with.
I agree. Yeah, and I feel like Mortal, who, if those of you don't know, is the world record holder in every freaking category except MT. But like I think he had an advantage because he grew up on PS2, and so some of the stuff like I feel like PS2 is just a weird mixture of Xbox and GameCube. So I feel like he was just kind of normally used to it. I think he's just very adaptive in general. But
Uh, I mean, I played the PS2 when I was growing up too. Like, I didn't own the PS2, but I played like at my friend's house because like he also
oh
had the game.
really?
Yeah,
I didn't
like
know
it didn't
that.
really feel all that different to me. I guess it was more fluid because 60 FPS versus 30. But as a kid, like FPS doesn't mean anything to me. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
GameCube, but on GameCube.
Yeah. Honestly, like I mean graphics didn't even matter to me either. Like I thought when I was a kid, I thought like Scooby-Doo and like all those like GameCube games. I was like, "Whoa, this looks so cool. This is crazy." And then I had friends with like Xbox 360s playing like Call of Duty and like basically what would it be like 720p 60 frames
Oh
with
god,
like
yeah. Everyone just played Modern Warfare 2. Like when I was in like middle school and high school, because
mhm,
that's just all I ever would grind. I was kind of the weird guy that liked Pokemon because I was like, hey, let's play this. I'm like
let's go.
grinding, and I found like maybe two or three other people that liked Pokemon with me. So I was like, okay, I'll play with you guys.
Yeah.
And but yeah, most of my friend group were definitely Xbox people. Gosh, you should get an Xbox. You should buy Call of Duty. It's like I'm not into that game. I'm
I don't want to
sorry. I'm into baby games and
I just want to
stupid.
catch Pokemon. That's all you want to
That
do.
well, that game I was into like Zelda. I was into a lot of like obscure license games. Honestly, like I mostly just played whatever I had in like my libraries because I didn't have that many games growing up as a kid. So I would often just replay the games I already.
Might as well. I mean, just get the value out of it, you know? But
Oh
so did you grow up with like Diamond and Pearl then? Or did you grow up with like
Well, I mean, for Pokemon, my first game was Pokemon Gold and Silver, but I
okay.
was like five
That's
years
what I
old.
thought from when we talked about
And I was like 5 years old, so I didn't really understand what I was doing. So
it.
I'm pretty sure like I didn't know how to catch a Pokemon like at all. I probably and I just had like a level like 70 for alligator by the time I got to the eighth gym
Wow.
somehow with like HM moves.
That's pretty dope. When
Yeah.
you were like that young, you just figured it out?
Oh, I don't think I really knew what I was doing. I mean, Pokemon's a very easy game. You just press A to win basically for the most part, and
I guess that's
then
true.
I couldn't progress. Oh, I have to use this. I have to teach cut. This is I don't know what this move does, but it lets me cut down trees, so it must be good. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think
And
I ever beat the game because like I was bad at games and I just would stumble across all the ice puzzles for hours.
oh my
And
god,
then I was
it's
just
always the
stubborn. I didn't
ice.
know, and I was stubborn. I didn't know how to use flash, so I would just wander through the dark caves, literally in pitch black. uh,
Oh my god. I that's like I grew up on Fire Red and Leaf
mhm.
Green. I did the same thing with Flash at least, where I didn't understand how it worked, and so I just was I like looked up a map online or something and like tried to like navigate my way through it.
Oh, I think I had. I think like when I got Fire Red, Leaf Green, like I kind of already knew how to play Pokemon. I guess a little better at that point. So I was like, okay, Flash is that thing from Gold, Silver. Let's apply that. And I don't know, like with that, I was able to get through the game really easily. I don't know, like once you play one game, Pokemon game, you can basically apply it to every other
Yeah, I
game.
mean they're all essentially the same concept. So, but
Yeah,
excuse me, when did you start doing the races with Jolly?
the race is jolly. Uh, I don't honestly quite remember. Like, I think it was probably like, well, I mean, I was always everybody was the 25s and 24s and like at 80%. Like I was literally the only one, and Baz also just doing hundo because like he got the sub 2 at the
Yeah,
time. So I was like, okay, I want to try to do this. Uh, I think Jolly was just a person that just randomly showed up on like one of Mortal's streams. Like one day, he just randomly said, "Yeah, I have a 205 in 100%." I was like, "Hey, are you on the leaderboards?" He's like, "No," and I'm like,
really?
I don't think you at a time. And I was like, I thought he was like, are you like an alt account of someone I don't. He's like, no. He's like, we have a Discord server. Why don't you join it?
Huh? I didn't know that he found it out like that. That's hilarious. What?
Yeah, I think he always just lurked on like Mortals and like Snowies and a couple people's streams, but like he never like chatted until like I guess that one stream I saw him.
Hmm.
And then I was like, you run Hundo, I run Hundo. Let's be friends.
Exactly.
I mean, otherwise, yeah, more or less. I mean, he liked running 100%. He said he basically was just inspired from Farah's like record. He's like, wow, the 204 is very good. And he like he wanted to play the game and he just wanted to like try to beat the time. He got
Mhm.
close and then he took a couple months off. um, and yeah, then I just kind of started. That kind of motivated me to do Hundo more because like, cool, I have another person to do it with.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
at the time, it wasn't nearly as popular of a category either.
I mean, to be fair, it never really was. Like, even back before I was doing it, like, it was literally just Farah and Baz bopping each other.
Okay, I mean, I
Yeah.
guess it makes sense. It's compared to like every other category, it's like double the length. So
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, 2 hours is a lot for, like, a speed run, but you can't really use the excuse that it's too long when the average length of most speed games are 2 hours.
yeah,
So, like, that's the message I was trying to get across to everyone who kept complaining it's too long. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
Mhm.
if you're streaming for 7 hours a day doing any percent time for that.
Yeah. I think
But,
with like any percent and stuff, Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights has been pretty fortunate with the length that it has been, especially after streaming games like Dog Island, where that's like fucking
yeah.
so long. Um, like I think
Yeah,
we're
but
kind of spoiled on that front.
I mean, games like that where there's like barely any skips, and for the most part, if it's just play casual, then yeah, there's not
Hmm.
much you can do about that.
Yeah.
Uh, and I've seen like a couple of like licensed in games like that. There's like this Jimmy Neutron game I saw somebody play one time, and it was like 2.5 hours long. It's basically Luigi's Mansion, but you're sucking up those like instead of ghosts, it's just those weird spiky alien dudes from like the Jimmy Neutron special.
Okay. Yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about. That's
yeah.
interesting. What was that even
Uh,
for? Like
I don't know.
GameCube, PS2, Xbox?
Yeah, I think it was just. I don't think there was an Xbox version, just PS2 and X for the end
Okay.
GameCube. But yeah, I looked at the run. I was like, okay, this looks interesting. And I looked at it around. I was like, wow, it doesn't look like there's any skips or anything in this. It's just you just mash and play good. That's it.
Yeah.
Uh,
And actually, that kind of, I just thinking about it now, that kind of makes Hundo unique, at least with Scooby, because, I mean, that speedrun is as long as it is. I mean, it's still pretty long, even with
mhm.
it getting sub 2 times, but like, you kind of jump around a lot still. Like, there's still like things, I mean, you skip, but it's more so just so you can collect them later because it's faster and stuff. So
Oh yeah,
like
things
how
like
is routing the game? Like how is routing that? Because I know you like doing that kind of stuff.
I mean, really, I mean, when I first started off, I basically just copied whatever Farah did like on his video.
Yeah.
So like his route was just like, I mean, I think from the get go, like they all already knew that okay, backtracking to Manor later made sense to do last because you need like all the inventions to get everything from there anyway.
Yeah.
So like doing Galosha skip, just basically applying any percent logic to it made sense. So I mean, that was just kind of that. For a while, before we had the backwards manner route, I was just doing forwards manner because that's what Pharaoh was doing. Which
Oh,
was
okay.
yeah, so like that was which was literally after after you do the basement levels and whatnot, we would just literally go through to climber in the manor 1 through 4, and then just go through all the manor levels in order, like no
Okay.
backwards or anything.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. People were doing that, and then like I don't remember like when we decided to change it. I think a couple other people were doing it already at the time, but like Ryan said he did it like apparently before like before like more people started doing it. I think doing it, but I didn't watch their videos. So I was like I realized that, going through that shortcut in the soap room, I was like, why don't we just do this and then go through Manor and stuff and take that one fan shortcut and then do the rest of it backwards because
Hmm.
it skips cutscenes, it skips like load screens, like, and also you don't have to, and also like it's I don't know, I just thought it was more fun because like, hey, we're going through this thing in a different wacky. Um, yeah, I mean that's more or less how it came out to be, and then like Baz finally actually tested it, and I was like, and he realized it was faster, and he started doing runs with it.
That's I
Yeah.
didn't know that you were kind of responsible for that.
Yeah, in a way. Um, I don't remember the full story because it's been forever now, but yeah, I guess in a way, like people already kind of knew, but like it was like I guess I kind of pushed it more to be like
Yeah.
the modern route.
Do you know how
Yeah, I
much
mean,
oh, sorry, you go.
yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're asking how much faster,
Yeah, that's what I
I
was going to
I
ask.
honestly don't know. I just kind of figured because we're like skipping all these cutscenes and like not having to collect keys and whatnot. I
Hmm.
kind of figured, it's probably faster. I didn't have like
Yeah.
time gap because my time was awful, but at that time, so I couldn't really make a precise estimate like what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and Baz did like runs with the route on emulator at the time. He didn't do potato cams or whatever like in 2019 for some reason. He did it on emulator. He said he got like 2 or 3 sub 2 runs actually on
Wow.
emulator. Like a 157, 156, and like a 154, I think. He didn't record any of those, and emulator wasn't allowed, so
Yeah,
it didn't
that's
really
interesting.
matter.
Huh.
Sorry, Baz, love you, but
Rip.
you know,
If only it was
the
like
reality.
today, that would have been accepted.
Yeah, then eventually, I guess once the whole shark skip thing got found and all that, that's kind of when more people actually started grinding, and that kind of was like Baz is like, I want world record. And now I want world record and everything else too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
I mean, yeah,
uh,
the shark skip being found was definitely like I guess to kind of keep me going. I was like, okay, cool. More stuff's being found, more stuff's being optimized. I'm getting better at the game.
mhm. Yeah, and I think one of the most exciting kind of eras that, I mean, I've only really known you for like a year, but I think the most excited that I've been for you with speedrunning is when you were kind of climbing up the any percent leaderboards with the Void Warp, because
Oh yeah,
you
I
were
jumped
started
from
at a
like
26 and then you
I
just
zoomed to
zoomed
like
up.
fourth place immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just what explain just what was kind of your process, I guess, through like grinding it and just doing it for how, like, you probably like about 3 months you were doing that category, two maybe.
Yeah, 3 months is accurate. I mean, essentially, it was just like Coley, well, you and Mortal were already doing the alternative fishy skip route with the awful version of fishy skip,
Yeah,
with the out of bouncing and stuff. So, I was watching the streams and I was like, I already kind of know the route. I already essentially know the route, generally, that's aside from how to do that off the out of bounds trick.
yeah,
So, I mean, I don't really have much of a process aside from just I watch like people do runs with I watch people do runs because I've already been watching people do runs for years, and then I just go through on emulator myself and just try to like copy like movement and stuff like once, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. I just learn by watching, and then I copy, and then I do runs. Um, because especially, like I was actually learning like the out of bounds thing before you guys found the void warp. Like I
yeah.
was trying
That's
to like,
right.
do like the tier 2 out of bounds thing, and I did get it like a couple times, but that was with massive save state abusing. Like and at that time I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. This it was like a lot of effort. And then there was your streams where like I could tell you were getting super frustrated from like that
Yeah,
trick. Uh,
like that that whole, like, I honestly think until like kind of the very end, I probably just needed a break or something from that particular category. But I think that was the most fun I had with the game, was doing that route, because I don't know, just I just found it fun, like kind of being the only other guy to do it and
yeah,
practicing every day, and it was kind of cool. But I am so much happier now that the Void Warp's
do
found. It's
all
gotten
that
so many more
effort.
people into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the void warp is definitely initially just made me like, okay, I'm going back to any percent. I'm just gonna get a free PB and see where I go. Because like,
Yep.
I mean, at that point, getting a 25 was already long overdue for me. Like for some reason, I chose not to just grind out the 25 because I had like a 26, and I just never grounded past that.
Hmm.
I was just going through stuff in my life at that time, and I was just kind of getting tired of like doing any percent because I was more interested in 100%. But yeah, then I just kind of started grinding the any percent. I went through it. I got like a 25 from like my first. Actually, no, it was actually like a 26 my first run. I didn't even beat my PB. And then next day I got a 25, and then a 24, and a 23. It was just like I think like after the 23, that's when it kind of started slowing down, and then like after
Hmm.
like I was done with that arc of just getting free PBs without any effort, like I started to actually like practice the levels and actually pay attention to like movement and such. So I mean, more or less, it's just about like you keep trying, you keep grinding, practice, and then apply it, and then hope that the fish cringe like works in your favor.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I was very terrible at fish cringe at that time too. So most of the time my runs would just like as soon as I get to fish cringe, it'd just be reset. It's like, okay, well I already spent
Yeah.
like 3 minutes here. There's no point continuing past this. Um,
I
yeah.
mean, at the time, that was. I mean, I still think that that's probably the hardest part of the run.
Mm-hmm.
Is besides like maybe GGS,
Oh
like,
yeah.
it just seems so variable.
Oh god. Oh yeah, and I was doing the out of bounds GGS in those early too.
That's
Because at that
right.
time
Yeah.
because at that time I didn't quite figure out PAL GGS. Like I knew I was gonna do it eventually, but I was like, well, let's just do this funky GGS because it's cool. And then I started getting frustrated by that. Okay, this is way too much effort, and my hands are starting to hurt from doing this. Let me just do the regular GGS.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I started doing that, and then got a 22. I got a couple 22s, actually. Um, and grinding for a 21 took me a while. And then I think I took a month off, and then the next month I got, like, the 20 that you see. Like, the 2057 or whatever, and that technically bopped your your 20 you had, but
Yeah.
you did your run. Yeah,
That was
yeah,
that competition at the time.
yeah. Mini competition, more or less, yeah. And then like Jolly got into it too, so like I have more people grinding with me. This is fun.
Hmm. Yeah,
Because
it's
like I was
always
still
it's
way behind you at that time, so I was like, okay, let me. Jolly definitely joining in on the fun like made it more motivating and stimulating to get PBs because he was
yeah.
bopping me too.
I always think it's more fun to kind of grind and like do other stuff with other people, and especially if it's like much more positive sort of like
Mm-hmm.
relationship competitively, then you can kind of bounce back on each other's energy a lot more.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I mean, there's definitely points where especially just with like Scooby, I know that there's kind of some times of tension with the competitiveness. And we've talked about this before where it's like, remember that we're speedrunning for fun, guys. Like, this is just to have fun.
Oh yeah, like not even just you. Like I've seen like several other runners and stuff like just get frustrated by things and like Jax and like I've definitely seen frustrated other gaming communities and stuff too. But for me, I don't know if it's just my personality where it's just like I just like I get frustrated too. I can't just like in the right mind, my state, like get mad at like anything because it's like I picked up this game for fun, like and that's all it's gonna be for me, a hobby. It's not gonna be something I get angry over. And if I need a break from the hobby, I will take it. And that's why I sometimes have those like periods where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a couple weeks off. I'm gonna take like a month off or something, just to kind of get my headspace, straightened out. It's like sometimes like if you're doing like a hobby, it's always good to like take a break from it too, because like when you come back, you'll just become stronger than ever. And
Yeah.
that's more or less what happened with me with my current 90%
Yeah.
run.
I was
Yeah.
just going to say that.
Yeah, like at that time I was like, okay, now that I have a 20, I'm gonna have to actually start implementing risky stuff. So I looked at Merle's PB, I studied it thoroughly, I studied your runs, I studied a couple other like old runs just to see like what they did. And then yeah, I just tried to apply it. I just practiced like levels over and over with like save state abusing until, I got it close enough to perfect before I was satisfied enough to move on.
Hmm.
Um yeah, and then I don't know, I just kept grinding and grinding. I got 2017, I got a tied PB with you, which was
That was,
awesome.
I still think that's super cool that we tied.
Yeah. I was like, cool. And I mean, at that time, like, I was like, it's not a 19. But then I looked at the leaderboards, I was like, oh, hey, funny meme tie. I got to submit this.
Yeah. Well, then, I mean, you eventually, it paid off the practice and you bopped me. You got the 19.
Definitely. Like, but holy crap, it was a struggle. Like, it took me a while. It took me like 3 months or so to do it. But yeah,
It's sustaining
running,
time now.
yeah, it's all about dedication. Like, the people that are on top are the people that spend the most time. Like that's all it comes out to anything, any speed run, any like hobby you do, any business. Like you put more
Yeah.
effort, you get a lot out of it.
Hmm. And
And yeah,
then
then recently I'm like, I want everything in second place.
that's, yeah, that's what I was going to segue to.
Yeah. And then then for those, there wasn't really much to it. I knew a lot of them were going to be free. Because, like, NLE, it's like, okay, all I had to do is learn the route and apply my movement. That's it. Do
Mhm.
that. Warpless, well, I had to actually grind for that one. honestly started hating after a while.
Yeah, people have actually grinded the warpless category in this
Mhm.
game for some reason.
Yeah, that was the one category I actually had to put effort into. uh, I was so mad about that one, but I mean, I think that was literally the last one I did before I was like, okay, I need a break now. And
Mhm.
uh, yeah, I don't know. I've had a lot of insane runs. Now I kind of feel like I've kind of like reached my like goal. Like I've kind of reached my runner's high, as they can call it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just the two runs from, just from a few weeks ago, that you came out guns blazing with, just the Hundo run, and then the cheaper cent on GameCube run.
Oh god,
Those
yeah.
are those are two big highlights.
Oh yeah, those two are definitely some of my favorite runs. The cheaper one I think is probably better because it's actually really skill based. And Sub 9 on GameCube is actually ridiculously insane because of how much stuff has to go right, how much single jump minimizing, and cheats percent is a very optimized category, so like even small things like are you menu slightly slower, that adds up. and
Hmm.
and then cheat percent's also just like you have to like button mash over and over every time you want to do like I mean,
Oh my god,
yeah.
that's the one thing deterring me from that particular category is typing in the cheat codes.
Yeah, that's not so bad once you get the rhythm of it, but yeah, I did not enjoy that at all. Like, honestly, I was not even trying for a sub 9 when I was doing for Bazbop, and I went above and beyond, and I almost tied world record, which would have been funny.
Would have been
But
crazy. The meme's still alive. People tie
mhm,
in that category all the time.
yeah, yeah, but the Hundo sub 2, that was like honestly overdue for me, and that was just something I wanted. I just wanted to get off my plate before I like was kind of done with the game. I was like, okay, cool, I got sub 2.
Hmm.
And I was like, I want a better sub 2. And then I practiced like the hundo stuff for like a week. And then I finally did a run and I kind of destroyed it with like my absurd RNG. And
Kinda destroyed it. It's
yeah,
almost 10 whole minutes faster.
it's 8 minutes faster than my previous one. But yeah,
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
insane.
I was like, I was like, throughout that whole run, like, I was in a good headspace. I was talking to people. I had like a good day. I just came out from like came out, hanging out with some friends, and I was in a good mood that day. But
Hmm.
usually, if you're in a good mood, you're more likely gonna succeed in something.
Yeah, I think it's pretty important to have a
and
good
then,
headspace and vibes starting
and
off.
yeah, then more or less what I did, same thing I did for 90%. I just practiced ILs of each level over and over with like safe state abusing, and then I don't know, like it just showed my skill showed in that run. And then the game decided it wanted to be very nice to me that day and give me 3 rope, good gringos, good black knight, and
It's
like
crazy.
I don't good and perfect coffins, which usually, if you know me and my hundo history, the game hates me every time I do coffins. I, I had one run where I had 20 extra. It was so stupid.
RNGG. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
It definitely is like exhilarating, like kind of doing it though, getting all that, and I didn't even do pause storage either, which is even
Yeah, you
better.
didn't. A
Mhm.
crazy good run without pause storage.
Yeah, because
Still a crazy good run even with it, but
oh yeah, I mean, but yeah, that chapter of my life's kind of, I guess, past now. I'm still deciding if I want to do like the pause storage route or just go for world record at this point. But honestly, I'm kind of just tired out from like this game after grinding it for so much now, and I want to just do something else for a while.
yeah,
And,
I mean especially just like you've been doing this game for such a long time now, so
yeah,
you
3 years
move on
now.
to different things.
Yeah.
And that's where this is kind of the part of the podcast I'm the most intrigued in, and that's everything else you've done. Because I
Yeah.
don't really know anything about that, except from obviously just the PBs that you post
Right.
and just from the leaderboard page. So the first thing, I
Mhm.
guess we'll start start chronologically, I guess, with just some of the other things you've done
Right.
aside from Scooby.
That's
Um, but there was a game before FIFO's Night that
FIFA's Night.
you did.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that the free game. Yeah.
yeah. So I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that a little bit. Um, just FIFO's Night
Yeah.
slash that game.
Man, that was basically because like I mean, yeah, that was I mean that game I initially just found because the dude I fellow Teal Game Master was playing it, and he was doing like a let's play of it. I was like skimming through it, and I was like, huh, this game reminds me a lot of a certain game I speedrun. That looks fun. I want to try it out. I looked on Steam. I was like, the fuck, it's free. This game is free, and it looks this good. So I downloaded it. I played it casually. I was like glitch hunting and stuff from it. I found one skip in like in my casual playthrough that skipped literally the entire final level. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
okay, cool.
really?
I'm gonna do it. Yeah,
Wow.
like
You found that in
I
your
mean now,
casual playthrough. Oh my
well, because
god.
there's this annoying puzzle with like fire switches, and I didn't know how to solve it. So I was like looking for ways to get through the gate, and I accidentally discovered like random collision on the gate. I was like, oh, well, I just go down here, and the elevator took me down because I guess it just assumed I already knew what.
Yeah.
I did all the puzzle stuff, and yeah, then I just beat the game. I was like, okay, cool. I kind of like this game. It reminds me of Frights, and I was like, hey, let's do a couple runs of just the kicks. And yeah, I streamed it. I got like a 52, then like that was world record, and I was literally because I was the only person that did it, essentially. And yeah, it was a fun game. Like it was definitely glitchy and crashed quite a lot, which is why I don't run it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then I got Mortal into that game, and he glitched under the shit out of it. He found a bunch of skips in it too. Uh, and then like there was that one day where like he like was glitch hunting. He went out of bounds, and he found like that developer comment. Like he found like some like
Yeah.
out of bounds thing, and and out of bounds said, "Hey, email me at this whatever address for a prize." And then like emailed them, and they gave us like cheat codes, and it was like really cool.
That is
It's like
super cool.
like getting like like the fact that the devs actually like put something like that in the game, basically like a boundary break. Hey, here's a free out of bounds. Now get your prize. Like that's like rad. Like that game was made by like just college students in like Spain, so like it wasn't meant to be like a full retail game or anything. And for first game, honestly, it was pretty good. Like it looked
Yeah.
nice. It had a nice horror feel to it. I mean, it was a little clunky, but I'm kind of used to clunky games like that because I grew up with playing a bunch of clunky games on GameCube.
Yeah. Did any other people like? I think you started a Discord for
Yeah,
speedrunning that game, right? And stuff. Did any other people besides you and Mortal start doing stuff? Or
yeah. There's like two other people. There's like two Australian people that joined in on the fun. Uh, Australian's gonna be an important thing we're gonna get to later on.
yeah, I was just
But
thinking
yeah,
that
yeah,
like
these
it's always
these are like these are
Australians.
different Australian people. Like they just ran the game. One of them got world record on it, and another one got world record on it. They didn't really find any strats or anything. They just basically played the game better. And
That's cool.
yeah, and then like after that, I don't know. I was gonna try to do more runs, but then I kept having the game consistently crash on the same spot. I was really
Ugh.
annoyed. And also, Mortal already found like basically the biggest skip in the game, which was like literally skip the final boss, and that just also skipped like everything from like all the others. That it also just kind of outclassed all in the beginning. So it was just like, well, now this game's 10 minutes long, and it's kind of lame. Yeah.
Dang, you ruined a video game.
It's okay though. Then we had a category split for like all bosses, which is basically beat all the bosses, and it was like the old route. And I was like, this is cool. But then nobody really ran it besides like me and like this other guy. So, um, yeah, game's kind of dead now. Sadly.
Sad face. Dang.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that it's just too niche and it's too obscure. and also it
Yeah.
was literally a free game. So like when you see free games on Steam, like there's a couple eyebrows that are raised.
Yeah. You're like, why is this game free?
Mhm.
Normally that means it's kind of not good.
But
But
yeah, I mean, I like the concept of it. I just wish it was longer and actually fully developed. It would actually be like a full scale game. But
yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll come back to it, or who knows? So anything
Yeah,
can happen,
I
really.
mean, devs of that game definitely have talent. Like they're like Spanish devs. One of the devs actually commented on like my record, like the 52 video. He was like excited. He's like, "Wow, man, I wanted somebody. I'm so glad somebody speedran what I wanted. Like making this
Aw.
game." I was like, "Oh, I made you happy. That's
Yeah,
cool."
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the devs is actually in that Discord. I don't think they ever said anything. Like,
He was just curious to see what you guys are doing.
yeah, more or less.
That's cool though.
Yeah, and then that game kind of died now, sadly. But it was cool at the time. Trying to get other people into it too, but really take off. It didn't really take off. So
Yeah, but the next game that you kind of did the same thing with, that took
yeah.
off in a very surprising way.
Oh god, yeah, Scalar.
Yeah, so I'll let you tell this. I'll let you tell just the whole story because I mean it starts from just playing Unmasked and speedrunning that game to
Okay,
what it is
well,
today.
okay, so after I was taking a break from Frights, I decided, hey, let's speedrun Scooby-Doo Unmasked for the heck of it. And I was making friends with people in that community because I wanted to network it, to know other people. I was learning all the skips for that. I grinded until I got like a 26, and then I kind of quit the game, basically. Then I was just kind of looking for other games to play. And then this guy on the Discord, climbing Coley, like he was like things about Unmasked. He was like researching things. He was like trying to find like what engine it ran on, and then the first thing he found was like it runs on this scalar engine. Like at first he thought it was like a name of engine. He just thought it was like what the fuck is a scalar engine? And then, like because like when he googled it, all he found out, oh, I see a game called Scalar. It's like, oh, it runs on the engine as that game. Okay. I was like, Scalar? What is this? And I looked it up. I looked at the box art. It's like, the box art literally looks like uh, a bootleg Spyro game. It's just like a
Yeah,
lizard
it does.
on line. It's just a lizard dude writing a looked up like videos like of the game on YouTube. And I mean I found I there were already like 3 speedruns of the game when I found it, and I was like, okay, it's a platformer collectathon. I could get into this, and it's 2 hours and 10 minutes long. I'm like, okay, we could probably bust this game even more. We could probably get it under sub 2 hours at least. So I played it casually. Like I got to like the first like through the first 4 levels. I was like, damn, I kind of like this game. Like, okay, I kind of love and hate it because like it's brutal and really difficult. But like I don't know, like it's definitely something I probably would have enjoyed like if I was a kid. Like
Yeah.
like as a kid, like even if a game's hard, like you'll keep pushing through just because like that's the only game that you have, right? That your parents are able to get you. So I kept pushing through it. I got a couple other people into the game. I got more people to actually play the game. Like he found a couple things in it, and then basically I found like I was looking up videos of skips, and I found this out of bounds skip in like the 6th level, where he literally just skips all the entire level and just gets the egg. I was like,
Oh,
damn, this is cool.
yeah, that is
Uh,
pretty cool.
Damn, this is
Which level
cool.
was it again?
Karatis. Uh, it's the level before the flying crab boss.
Oh, oh, okay.
It's like a
Yeah,
desert level.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
after the
yeah,
ball racing one.
yeah.
Yeah.
That level's not the worst. The
Yeah, like
crab
I
is
saw a video of that. I was like, damn, this is cool. I want to do a run with this because I noticed the world record didn't do that skip. Because I guess I just
okay.
didn't know about that. So I was like, okay, let's let's glitch onto this game. Let's try to speedrun a little bit. Like, after I beat it casually, obviously, I got like a random person like from the comments. Well, his name is he's Ascol on the Discord, but like at that time it was like his name was, like Mouse. or something. And he's like, he wanted to get back into this game too. I was like, hey, I got a Discord server. I made. Like, I originally just made the Discord server because there was no Discord server, and when I tried to like reach out on the forums, nobody responded because both mods were inactive. So I was like, screw it, I'm making my own community. But yeah, then it just was more. And it was just more of a place for just like me and my friends and from the Scooby realm just to basically post our shit on the game because like it was just really 3 people starting off, then jumped to like 5 people. Now we have like 20 people on Discord. Because surprisingly, a lot of random kids played this obscure game about a lizard riding vines. Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a weird thing with me because like I didn't grow up with these games. Like I thought I would just bail on it really quickly, but then I optimized like the first level because like in like the world record, dude, he beat the first level in like 4.5 minutes. But then like when I was like running script and stuff, I got it down to like 3 minutes. I was like,
Okay,
okay,
wow.
if I
Yeah.
can just work magic on this first level, I wonder what we could do for the rest levels. And then yeah, it was just more or less me talking to like the Australian guy. He just was playing the game, practicing, and eventually he just, got world record with like the 206. And then I guess to kind of jump ahead, because if I go into the whole scalar thing, it's going to drag on for too long. We
Okay.
eventually this girl on this Discord like was looking up like videos and skips of the game on Twitch, and we ran across this Metroid Prime speedrunner who just happened to be like who just happened to also play find all these crazy glitches that we didn't know about.
And who is this Vertigo?
This is a Jean Hen. She's on the Scalar Discord.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Yeah, Jean Hen's the one who like found this person and the GD Vertigo. It's okay if it doesn't ring a bell, but
Wait, I'm sorry. You were like cutting out.
sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, the person we found, his name was GD Vertigo.
Yeah, Vertigo.
He's
He's
yeah,
world record holder currently, I believe.
yeah, he's also like second place or third place in Metroid Prime because like that's his main game.
Okay.
Yeah, point is, this person from our Discord found out that this random Metroid Prime streamer also glitch hunted the game, and suddenly all these crazy skips were like flow videos were just flooding the server. It was a good time for the community because like the server was just exploding with like videos and things. And we reached out to the guy. It's like, and apparently that guy had his own Discord society too.
Oh yeah.
Discord server. So like that's where like the old mods were, like this Whiskers guy who also runs Witcher Prime, he does task stuff. There's like 4 people. I think there was literally only like 4 people in that Discord server, like, and only 2 of them actually like played the game and like were hunting for stuff. And then we're like, we have a Discord server we've been talking stuff in for months, and we should share our information and findings with each other so we can
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, now they're all in the community, and then we all talked, and it was just cool. Like, we found like it's like we found our lost, like it's like you finding your lost brother or something, like your long lost relative that you never do. Except this was like speedrun community, and then yeah, it was just cool. They were just like, man, we wanted new people to like take a look for ages, and finally glad we have like people forming this thing. But yeah, now we basically we shared our findings, and then like it was just a matter of okay, who's gonna get sub 1, sub 2, because sub 2 was literally free. So eventually I guess I took a stab at it after we like routed all the new stuff and like I practiced all the skips and all that. The Vertigo was also going for sub 2, but like he was playing on like Nintendo, and this game kept crashing or something at like the final boss, which was really annoying for him. But
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, sub 2's long overdue. I'll do record on that. And then 2 hours later, Vertigo stole that record from me. I'm so peeved about it to this day. I had world record for 2 hours.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. And
And
yeah,
it's
then his time was like a 127 compared to my 153 that I
okay.
got. Yeah, so he completely annihilated my time, and then I guess he did another run eventually. Now he has a 123. Uh, yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I'll probably be getting back into the game soon just to get my
Cool.
revenge. But but
That's
I
cool to hear.
also want to actually get more time to just to give him some competition.
Dang.
Yeah, Scooby community now is like it's not as ridiculously active as it was like a month or two ago, but now it's pretty tame now. I'd say once in a while someone some work. Yeah, that was just kind of like an interesting experience. Just basically starting a speedrunning community and then just kind of watching it kind of grow and explode with all these like crazy Australian people finding glitches. And yes,
Yeah.
every single person that runs the game happens to be Australian. It's just the rule of conduct.
I mean, if anybody's curious about like looking at this game to speedrun, if you look at the leaderboard, like almost half of the people on the leaderboard are Australian. So
Yeah. Oh, there's like I think one of them's also like from the UK, but like there's like some New Zealanders and Australian people. Yeah. It's mostly that side. The Southern Hemisphere reigns supreme when it comes to scalar.
I don't. Was it just more popular with like European PAL versions of the
I
game, or like?
I don't know. Like I'm me and like there's like one other American on like the Discord, but they didn't. But the other American also didn't grow up with the game. They were just looking for like a different game to bust because they were kind of tired of playing their current speed game. They just ran across this and they found glitches. Like, hey, this game's busted. Let's break it. Like, I think it was just it's definitely coincidence. Like maybe like it was marketed better like in Australia or something. I'm not sure, but like I like looked into like the history of the game, and basically the game was advertised as a $20 budget game for kids. Like I'm not even
Okay.
kidding. Like that's literally what it
Yeah,
was.
I mean it makes sense just by looking at it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean when you were doing all this stuff with Scalar, I was like kind of paying attention to it because I'm like in the Discord, but like I didn't really read anything.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I mean,
but
there was so much being flooded, so like
yeah,
yeah, it's hard to
but
keep up with all that.
yeah, but this, I mean, it's got to feel good just like kind of seeing where I mean, you kind of just sparked the speedrunning community for this game again. Like,
Yeah, because like it was literally dead for 5 years before that.
yeah, like
Yeah.
that, I don't know. That has to feel pretty good to kind of do something like that. So,
Yeah, that was like definitely, I'd say one of the best happy times of my life. you
oh,
know, I was like, cool. I started this community, and I'm glad people are like actually because
yeah,
if it was literally just me only doing everything, I'm not stuck with it. 'Cause, like it's so
that's
hard
fair.
to do something if you don't have like other people doing it with you.
Yeah, and we're kind of we're reaching towards the end of this podcast, but
Right.
a quick things that I didn't know if you wanted to just talk about more of like the meme sort of games that you've done,
Right.
like the DS games for
Oh,
Unmasked, or specifically PSP Who's Watching Who. If you wanted to just talk
well,
about those
who's watching
briefly.
who? There wasn't really much of a story to that, other than like like we were just looking up Scooby-Doo games, and we just randomly came across this Who's Watching Who game. I was like, I've never heard of this game. I was like, oh, there's a DS and PSP version, and nobody did runs of it. So like, I don't know, like me, Baz, Sam, and a couple of Frights people took interest in the game just out of curiosity to see what kind of game it was. Because some people played the DS version growing up. Like I didn't play it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna jump into the PSP version, take a look at it. I was surprised it was a platformer, and it felt very much like Unmasked. And the first after playing the first few levels, I was like, okay, right. Then when I got to the clues section, I realized how shit the game is. You have to literally analyze every single clue. Uh,
Yeah. And isn't it
uh,
like RNG where you find those specific clues?
yes, the clues
Okay.
are RNG based.
Ugh.
It's stupid, and the
Speedrunner's a
suspect
nightmare.
you're accusing is also RNG.
What's also RNG?
The
The
suspect person you're accusing with the
Oh
clues.
yeah, that's right. Yep. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I mean that was more just like I don't know, like basically, hey, let's get a free world record on this. Like, and Pat Monster got like a record on it, like a 145 or something. And then I was like, okay, let me try one run or two, see what I get. I got like 2.5 hours. And then, like, I actually dug deeper into the game and I discovered, oh, there's a way to manipulate the clues. RNG manipulate. Sorta. By just resetting the game over and over until you get this pattern. And I just played the game. I was just trying to figure out how the manip and stuff worked before I realized, okay, this game's manip is stupid. But I knew world record was free, so I took it. So yeah, I just got eventually I got like a 139 on that. I was like, okay, I'm done playing this game for a while.
Fair.
Forever probably because I was like, this game gave me a headache. DS, I mean, I don't know. It was more of just a curiosity thing because I noticed we had Unmasked GBA, Unmasked console, and not Unmasked DS. So I just took a look at it. I played it casually. I played it. It was awful, but it was awful in a good way. It was like a so bad it's good kind of
Yeah.
game. Like there was like no skips or anything, but it was straightforward. Every level was just short. You just get to the end, get clues, and then click buttons, do a bunch of weird touchscreen games, and move on. Like, and then I got my friend Faffy into it because the game.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I had
that's right.
yeah, because my record was like 40 minutes at the time, and then he decided, hey, I want to grind this too, and I just did races with them because that game was giving me a headache playing by myself. So it was more fun suffering with somebody. uh, and yeah, now that game is like at 32 minutes.
Yep.
They can probably sub 30 free, but nobody
Who
really wants
wants
to do it. So
Yeah.
if you want a free world record, there you go on Mass DS. Those are just more or less because I found other Scooby games nobody else touched, and I wanted to see what was unexplored. Because, like, I don't know, like, whenever I jumped into, like, a popular game, I just don't feel as excited to do it, because what's the point? All the discoveries have already been made. Mario
Mhm.
Sunshine. So much shit, that community's too big, and too many people found stuff. Like, BFBB. I just didn't feel like I had any, like, input or, like, any kind of, like, I could add much to the game. I don't know. For me, it's just a matter of like, can I add value to this? Like, can I discover something? If the answer is no, then like, I just don't. I was like, I'm not really that interested in speedrunning this then.
I mean, hey, that's pretty fair. But
Yeah.
yeah. So thank you, Harsh, for coming on to the podcast. I
Thanks for
really
having me.
appreciate it. Uh, I just I don't know. I loved hearing about just early Scooby and scale, especially the scalar stuff. I've always been kind of
Hmm.
curious to know about, just because I find it really cool and interesting, just how you kind of start up that community. So I'll leave a link actually in the description of this podcast to the Scalar Discord, um, just in case if anybody's interested. But if you wanted to plug any other social media, YouTube, Twitch stuff, now's the
Uh,
time.
sure. I mean, I'm literally just harsh on like YouTube. I guess if you type in my URL, it's Flame Astro, but that's just because like that was my username. Just search Harsh and Scooby-Doo, and you'll find me. My Twitch is Harsh ESC, like escape. So I tweet semi regularly on that. It's really just a whenever I feel like it basis. I streamed a lot of Scooby Doo, but I think I'm gonna be moving on to other things at this point. Uh, I have a Twitter, which is harsh ESC underscore. I'm sure you'll link it down below.
I will. I'll link all these things down below for
Yeah.
those interested.
Let's see. And I have a MySpace. No, I don't have a MySpace.
I
And then
have,
I've
if
got
you want to email
Facebook
me
fan
at
page.
AOL. But
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you so much for having us on. I'm excited to see what you're going to do in the future with speedrunning or whatever projects you have going on. Thank you for whoever's listening to the podcast, and we'll see you on the next episode. So,
Bye bye.
goodbye.